Hi, good day everyone. It's English time once again. Do you want to learn new things? Welcome to my class. This is Teacher Ed, your teacher for today. For our lesson objective, you are expected to establish a sense of objectivity in evaluating a picture, text, and or performance using a set of criteria. Are you ready to learn? So let's start our lesson for the day. Our topic is evaluating and making judgments. But before we go to our main course, let's have these two questions to ponder in relation to our topic. How do you evaluate a text, an image, or a performance? What would be your basis in giving judgments? Evaluating a text or performance has always been subjective in its very sense. Subjectivity in giving judgment has always been an issue in terms of fairness. In addressing this concern, criteria have been helpful tools in establishing objectivity in evaluating a text or a performance. Simply, objectivity allows the evaluator to develop sound and fair judgment. For your learning task 1, I want you to examine the painting or picture. What can you say about it? After that, I want you to answer the following questions in your paper. Number 1. What specific features of painting or picture are manifested? Number 2. What do you think is the painter's inspiration in his or her masterpiece? Number 3. What message is portrayed by the painting or picture? Number 4. What positive points are manifested in the painting or picture? And number 5. How can the painter still improve this painting or picture? Our topic for today is evaluating and making judgments, and the 6 common indicators in evaluating and judging a text. In making judgments, it is necessary that evaluators form the sense of objectivity. Being objective means being fair. There is no presence of bias. Personal feelings are detached from the act of judgment. Giving judgment may vary images, media, and texts. Judging these complex works or performances becomes easier with the help of criteria. These criteria guide the evaluators on the scope and limitation of what to judge or examine. Basically, criteria are a set of standards and or principles considered in judging a particular work, output, or performance. These criteria may vary depending on what is to be judged or evaluated. For example, the criteria in writing an essay is not the same with singing contest. Another, the criteria in judging speech choir is different from extemporaneous speaking. Moving on to the 6 common indicators in evaluating a text. Though there are still other points to consider in evaluating texts, but these 6 indicators are the most common criteria used. Our first indicator is content. It refers to the idea, concept, focus, or details of the subject matter as discussed in text. For example, you are reading a certain story and you want to know the story's content. You are going to ask, what is the topic all about? What is the moral of the story? Our second indicator is cohesion. It refers to the connection and organization of words, phrases, ideas, and concepts presented in the text. It is also sticking together or tying together old and new information. In other words, cohesion is how you connect and organize words, phrases, ideas, and concepts into a sentence or a paragraph. Our third indicator is grammar. It deals with fluency and accuracy in terms of language structure and facility. It denotes the study of a language governing the sounds, words, sentences, and other elements. So when we say grammar, we are simply talking about how the sentence is being constructed. It also talks about the tenses of the verbs as well as the functions of words. The fourth indicator is mechanics. This refers to the accuracy or rules in punctuations, capitalization, and spelling. When we speak of punctuation, this is how you punctuate a sentence, whether you use a comma, a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point, depending on the function of a sentence. For example, in the sentence, "What is your favorite food?" The sentence uses a question mark because it asks a question. Capitalization, on the other hand, is capitalizing the first letter of all proper nouns as well as the first letter of the word in the sentence. For example, the word Ryan. The first letter R is capitalized because Ryan is a proper noun. In the sentence, "What is your favorite food?" The first letter of the word what, W, is capitalized. In spelling, it is writing the correct letters of a word. For example, the word favorite. It is spelled as Favorite. Let's move on to the next indicator, word choice. When we speak of word choice, it deals with appropriateness of words, especially in terms of depth and level of formality. It is also a person's choice or selection of words that makes him feel comfortable, confident, and simple enough to be understood. Our last indicator is tone. This refers to the emotion or feelings attached as expressed by the texts. In literary work, it expresses the writer's attitude toward or the way that the text can make a reader feel. For example, after reading a selection, what feeling or emotion is expressed by the text? Is it sadness or happiness? For your learning task 2, I want you to read and examine the speech of Nelson Mandela. Then answer the questions that follow. Write your answer in your paper. Question number 1. What are the 3 major problems identified by Mandela? Number 2. Why do you think Mandela deals with these 3 problems as personal issues? Number 3. What pandemic was mentioned by Mandela? Has the world overcome this health crisis? Number 4. How can the world overcome poverty? Number 5. What possible steps can be undertaken to overcome poverty? Number 6. Explain this line. While poverty persists, there is no true freedom. So here is the copy of Nelson Mandela's speech. You have also the copy in your self-learning module. Moving on to the learning task 3. After you have read and answered the questions about the speech of Nelson Mandela, I want you to evaluate the speech using the given criteria. Write your answers in your paper. I want you to use the 6 indicators that we have discussed: the content, cohesion, grammar, mechanics, word choice, and tone of the speech. You are going to write your observations and explanations on the table template provided in your self-learning module. Did you learn something today? I hope I have given you something to learn. So let's have a recap on what we discussed today. In evaluating and making judgments, it is necessary that evaluators form the sense of objectivity. Being objective is being fair. To give fair judgment and evaluation, we have to follow a certain criteria. And these criteria are the 6 common indicators, such as content, cohesion, grammar, mechanics, word choice, and tone. And for your assessment, I want you to read and analyze the following questions. Write only the letter of your answer in your paper. We have question number 1. In evaluating a text or performance, how do evaluators establish fair judgment? A. By setting a goal. B. By giving set of questions. C. By making a set of standards or principles. D. By counting the flaws or faults. Question number 2. Among the given ideas, which statement is not true in evaluating and making judgments? A. Subjectivity allows the evaluators to develop and to come up with fair judgment. B. Judging a particular work or performance needs a set of criteria in guiding the scope or limitation of what to judge. C. Criteria vary depending on what is to be judged or evaluated. D. One's emotion should be separated from the act of judgment. For question number 3, which indicator applies the concepts of joyful, serious, humorous, sad, threatening, formal, informal, pessimistic, or optimistic? A. Content. B. Cohesion. C. Mechanics. D. Tone. Second to the last question. Question number 4. From the given picture, what common indicator is suited to be used in judging it? A. Mechanics. B. Pitch. C. Cohesion. D. Organization. Moving on to the last question. Question number 5. If you were to judge or evaluate the given image, which of the following pairs of indicators are you going to use? A. creativity and craftsmanship. B. Voice projection and interpretation. C. Focus and mechanics. D. Clarity and expression. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for participating in my class. I hope you learned something new. I hope to see you again next time. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share!